So branded entertainment is all about us working with sponsors. A lot of TV shows, you've probably heard there's been a bit of controversy about a McDonald's show recently. So we produce that. It's working with the sponsor. It's being able to integrate their brand and some of their goals into a TV show, but at all times us producing something that's going to be entertaining for the audience. Because if you don't do that, you fail the audience, you fail the TV station, so they're not going to give you another chance, and you fail your sponsor. So my role is to oversee all of that, to make sure that what we do with the sponsor is okay, that it's not an ad, and then also to make sure that it's entertaining for the viewer. And if you achieve both of those, they'll hopefully come back and do some more work with you. And that's the way television goes round. It's a bit of both.
Yeah, right.
You know, we can approach people with an idea, with a concept. We might have an existing show we think fits a brand perfectly. We produced a couple of years ago a show called Sudden Impact, which was sponsored by the Transport Accident Commission. And the whole thing about this sort of television is that you can tell a certain story in an ad, but there are other stories that won't be justified by just an ad. You need to have something that has more room for content, more space to explain something. And the TOC wanted to pay for that because they wanted to get their message to young males, that probably, you know, your age or a bit younger particularly, who weren't travelling safely on the road, who were taking risks, and it was killing people. So they, you know, paid us to produce an 8-part series which was played nationally to look at the real stories behind the road toll. So instead of seeing the Transport Accident Commission ads, which are hard-hitting and quite in your face, we did a TV show that was going to be about real people, real stories, and get the message that way. And that's what it's all about, you know. Digital content, we think, really complements what we do, because ultimately they still need content. They still need content that people are going to watch. There's certain sort of content, like, you know, content where people go out and do silly things, which people are going to watch anyway. But does that achieve any commercial outcome for people? Probably not. You'll see on the football, you know, them talking about a particular trend or item, and via Twitter, particularly, you're able to get instantaneous feedback. I think they're complementary. Live sport and live events, it's particularly good. People are always going to sort of comment about shows in the forums, and some of it could be complimentary, some of it's not. It's real stuff. But look, you know, it's simply, you know, I look at the forums and stuff being an instantaneous version of the letters to the editor type column, where we had to wait, back when I started in television a while ago, till the next day or a few days later. People want it now. So they get it now, and they have that ability then, and then you'll get people agreeing, people disagreeing, and that's good for television as well, because people are talking about it, and that's what the whole, you want content people are going to talk about. It's tough. That's the reality. There are a lot of people who want to do it. There's a lot of people who want to be on camera. It's not to pigeonhole yourself as being, I want to be on camera, I want to be behind the camera, because you'll be amazed at the number of people. Ultimately, if you're destined to be in front of the camera, it'll happen. But you have to be persistent. You'll get a lot of knockbacks. You'll get kicked in the teeth, and you've got to be able to get back up again. You can't take it personally. You need to have something that nobody else has. You need to be unique in what you present. As an employer, I will always look to somebody who has multi-skills. You've got to be able to shine somewhere, because you can't be so-so at everything. But if you can be, you know, we've got a young guy, a camera guy, who came from the country. He's probably our most outstanding prospect, because he can do sound, he can do audio, he's technically very smart. To be able to have all of those abilities makes him invaluable to us, and he will move up the tree here, because he's someone we can take into many different sorts of roles, and it's quite to be flexible is really important. So I would say, if that's what you're doing, embrace it. Take every opportunity that you get. Don't say no to anything. You know, you've just got to be able to take every experience and to do your best at it. It mightn't be something that you want to do. I mean, I remember stuff, you know, a little bit at uni and at school that you're studying that you don't particularly feel is relevant. But ultimately, you know, it's all about training your mind to be able to, if you can understand as an on-camera person, as an interviewer, how something is being shot, how something is then going to be produced, you need to be able to think about all of those things and then you piece it together. If you only have that tunnel vision of, I'm just going to ask that question and that's it, but then you forget, oh, maybe we should have done some extra angles, maybe I should have asked that question again, because that will lead into that other piece of content that I've got. If you can't think like that, then, you know, you're very one-dimensional and probably won't make it. Always have a plan, career-wise. Think about, if I take that job, where is that going to lead me to?